everyone, I'm Pam. Welcome to my channel, Stitching in the Land of Good Enough. Today is Friday, February 24th, and this is Flosstube number 80 something, 81, 82, I'm not sure. I forgot to check. It's been almost an entire month since my last Flosstube, and I apologize. If you are finding my channel for the first time, welcome. I feel like my camera angle is funny today. I'm sorry. We're just gonna go with it or else this video is never gonna get filmed. If you are finding my channel for the first time, this is a channel where I talk about cross stitch, where I talk about my cross stitch store, Stitch New England, where I do life updates, where I do bird updates, because I really love my backyard birding. And some sort of rambly, disorganized chit chat thrown in there. Who knows? It's always a mystery what I'm gonna say at the beginning of every video. I have no idea. I don't even have notes today, so this is probably going to be one of those videos. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back. Thanks for taking the time to stop and have a little chit chat with me. What has been going on in my life since we chatted last? Mostly market prep. So as a needlework shop, I attend the National Needlework Market down in Tennessee the first weekend of March, and my husband and I are leaving a little bit early this year and making it like a whole week thing instead of just a few days so that we could have a little vacation time together, because we haven't had much of that since we opened the store. So I have been spending the past 3 or 4 weeks getting the shop ready for my mother, who covers the shop while I'm gone, and just everything involved in getting ready to go to market. If you have placed pre-orders with my shop, thank you so much. You've blown me away this year. This is my second year attending the needlework market. And it's fun. It's so fun, but so much work. Okay, we're gonna jump right into stitching because the only thing happening in my life has been, I've pretty much been living at the store. I did also do some rearranging in the store because we had a leak. I think the leak happened after my last video. So a few weeks ago, I am in an old building in downtown North Attleboro, Massachusetts, the store, original brick wall. And my store has exposed ceiling. So I've got like a tin ceiling up there, and which is why my heat's so loud because the ducts are not covered. But there's tenants upstairs, like residential tenants. And there's a bathroom, obviously above me, 2 bathrooms actually. And one sprung a leak a few weeks ago. Luckily, it didn't ruin any inventory and we caught it almost immediately. Thank goodness it didn't happen overnight. But it did mean I had to move all the inventory from this side of my store over to that side of my store temporarily. It was a big kerfluffle, but it did kick me and my husband's butt into gear because there had been some things we'd been wanting to do in the store, and we did them. And if I think about it later today, I will do a little, I probably won't today because it is a little bit, I will do it when I get back before market Saturday. I'm totally teasing so that you can see the new layout. It's super cute. Sorry, itchy. I have super dry eyes in the morning and I forgot to put my eye drops in. I'm gonna be like, okay. So anyway, that's been my life, living at the store. So let's talk about stitching. I have a back from the framer. I'm so excited. So I get all my things, I'm like, I'll just show her. Oh my gosh. Night Walk Down by the Blue Flower. Can we even? The frame. Look at that frame. It's so perfect. So perfect for this. So this is Night Walk Down by the Blue Flower. I stitched it on an vintage tarnished silver by Lakeside Linens. Although, if I were looking for a fabric now to stitch her on, I'd probably choose Fox and Rabbit Oyster Shell would be a good choice. I did not put any glass in, so like I'm touching the fabric, which is why she's showing up so good on camera. Because I feel like if she were hanging at home, I'd have glass in. But at the shop, they show better without the glass. So, yeah, I can't. I just want to... Can we just look at her? I'm so happy. This is probably one of my favorite things I've ever stitched, ever. And it's probably like the best frame. Oh my gosh, it's so good. Okay, I'm gonna put her back here for now. Okay, that way she's off the table. I get all my things framed at the Preservation Framer in North Attleboro. They frame things other than needlework, but they do a really good job. Okay, then what? Then I did stitching. Not a ton of stitching. I actually, so far, I'm so proud of myself. I'm using the 2023 Book of Days this year to track, in a non-pretty way, to track my stitching. So far, this February, I have had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. This is a short month. 5 days where I haven't stitched at all because I've just had so much going on, and then I get home from the shop and I'm exhausted. So what have I been stitching? Oh my goodness, I forgot one of my projects, probably the thing I've stitched the most this month, over there. So we're gonna go on hold. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. I'm just putting you on hold. This is your fancy hold music. And I hope you enjoy it because I'm not a very good singer. And I should probably have a song that I have like choreographed, not choreographed, but like all like, composed, thank you, that I sing every time. That makes sense and is melodic and pretty, unlike that one. Okay. My shop project, the project that I'm working on at the store, is the thing I've worked on the most so far this month because it gets worked on every Wednesday night and then any Saturdays where we have stitching at the shop. Although the Saturdays have been busy this month, so there has not been a lot of Saturday stitching. And I brought it home a few times because it's kind of comfort stitching and I've needed comfort stitching this month. So anyway, it's Cottage Garden Sampling Series this year. I should have did like a, hey, watch out, if you don't like clowns, look away. Sorry. If you don't like clowns, look away. Cottage Garden Samplings Snowman Collector Series. I'm stitching all on one piece of fabric. It's gonna be 12 months of snowman. 3 of them are out. The 4th picture just got released. It's a postman and he's riding like an old-fashioned bike and he's adorable and I can't wait to get to that one. Anyway, I'm stitching mine on 20 count Aida and this is where I am at. So I have number 1, the needle worker, all finished except for the white fill-in of the actual snowman. My favorite part is that button star and the 2 bunnies, like super cute. So that is done, just needs fill-in. I have started number 2. I would like to say a few things about number 2. You can look back, by the way, because I don't have any part of the clown stitched. I started stitching this border like it just repeats the whole time. It does not. I should have left out stitches in it for this is the trapeze for the trapeze artists. And I didn't, I just kept stitching as if I didn't need to leave a space. So what I did was I stitched over the stitches that were already there, and you can't even tell because I'm stitching one strand. It didn't like bulk it up very much, so because I wasn't ripping out that whole border. Even like the tent over here creeps into the border a little. And the strong man, let me get the chart back out. I apologize if you hate clowns. The strong man, his dumbbell comes into the border as well. So be aware of that if you haven't started stitching number 2 yet. That the border doesn't repeat all the way around, that there's space. There's also space up at the top where the tent pole and the flag comes in, but I noticed that. So again, same plan. I'm gonna stitch everything except the white fill-in of the snowman, and then I'm gonna move on to number 3. This is really fun. Cottage Garden Samplings may be my favorite designer. They're just clever. Like, I'm gonna show the clown one more time. I am so sorry. When you first look at this, all you see is the clown. But there's so much more. There's a cannon. There's trapeze artists. There is an elephant with a hoop. There's a lion. There's a rabbit in a hat. There's a bear on a bike and a straw. Like, I love this pattern. And I kind of like the clown. I've named him Pipsqueak. And it makes him ever so much more cuter when he has a name and his name is Pipsqueak. Just saying. If you're not a clown person, but you want to stitch the whole series, give your clown a fun name, and then it will take on a whole different personality. I apologize, I'm talking wicked fast today because my mom is supposed to be coming to the shop in like 25 minutes. So she can remember what to do here when she's covering me when I'm away. Okay, so next up, I'm just gonna show these all out of order. I don't even feel like trying to figure it out. Oh, I'll save that one for last. Temps. So every Sunday I stitch the temps from the week. I'm doing a daily temperature stitch along. I think it's called just the temperature calendar or something. I'll have it in the description box below if you're interested in stitching this one. There's a bunch of them out there. If you are like, ooh, I've never heard of a daily temperature stitch along, tell me more. You stitch something, depending on the chart, for every day of the year, depending on the temperature where you live, is what color the thing is. So I've done the Granny Square Daily Temperature Stitch Along by Carolyn Manning. I've done Stitchin' Mommy's Temperature Tree. Last year I did Christie's Corner's Temperature Library, which was a book for every day. It was very fun. And so this year, this is a calendar. So here is where we are. We're gonna chat about that in a sec. So here's where we are. January's done, moving along in February. We had a little cold snap the first week in February, but as you can see, like, that is literally a yellow day in February. I've got March's calendar ready for next month. I've started on April's, and you'll notice there's some ghost fuzz there. Somebody had pointed out in my last video that I may want to check to see that I had my border correct because it didn't look like there was enough space, and they were right. Thank you. So I had to take out this whole line, and there's going to be some fudging involved because obviously I missed a color somewhere at the bottom, and I'm not going back to put it back in. So I think what I'll do is I'll start from the top and move around. It'll work out. It'll be fine. I am having a blast with this one. So fun. So I do the high temperature of every day for Pawtucket, Rhode Island. I'm always torn because I spend so much of my day in North Attleboro, Massachusetts, where the shop is. And, but I'm like, no, I need to be consistent. All my other ones are for Pawtucket. This one will be for Pawtucket too. Okay. We're gonna go on a side tangent for a sec. I forget who asked me. Way back in my whip parade, I was talking about how this needed to be framed, and the reason it didn't is because there was like a mess of thread on the back that I needed to use my tail tucker to like cut it and weave the threads back through, and they wanted to know what a tail tucker was. So I have it here at the store. This is a tail tucker. I don't think, where I got this one, I don't think the shop, it was an Etsy shop, I don't think she's open anymore. But basically what it is, and I'm sure that this is a tool that you can get under a different name, I just know it as a tail tucker. It's a long, thin piece of metal that opens. And it has a really sharp, pointy end. So when you have a really short piece of thread and your needle won't like go back under, I take my needle off and I stick this under the threads in the back, and then you put just the very tip of the thread that you want to weave through the holes, and then you pull it and it pulls everything through. You can also do this with your needle. So like, you know when you're playing thread chicken and now you can't you're on the back of your fabric and you can't turn your needle to get it under the threads to weave that little short piece through, you can kind of like, you can already have your needle under the threads and then stick the thread through and then pull. I don't know. I think you can also do it with like a loop of thread. There are other ways you can do what I'm talking about, but I have this tool, so this is what I use. And it's a little bee, and I love it. So I can check that off my list. I've shown the tail tucker. I apologize though. I really think that the shop that I got it from, you can't get them anymore. But maybe if you Google tail tucker or search it in Etsy, you might find them. That was super unhelpful. I apologize. Okay, what else have I stitched on? This year, my plan is I'm going through my projects in order of start date and kind of touching them at least once, and then as long as I want until I move on to the next project. So Feed the Birds, which was gifted to me, and for the love of Pete, I can't remember who gifted it to me now, but I love it and thank you. So if you gifted it to me, remind me, because I forgot to put my brain is very mushy. Anyway, it's Feed the Birds by the Needle Love Company. And I am stitching Feed the Birds, except that I'm also adding some of the birds from Bird Watcher onto Feed the Birds, because I'm not gonna stitch this one. Because I'm definitely more of a bird feeder than a bird watcher. Like I don't have like a life list where I go out and I watch birds and I try to check them off my list that I've seen them. I just enjoy feeding the birds in my backyard, and I do watch those birds obsessively. Anyway, I'm stitching it on 32 count linen, 2 strands. It's so close to being done. I only worked on it for one night though. So here's where we're at. What did I do? I stitched most of the woodpecker. It's a downy woodpecker. It might be a hairy, but for me it's a downy because they're cuter, because they're smaller, because they look exactly the same, except one is smaller than the other. So he doesn't have a head yet. And the reason I didn't finish is because I didn't have one of the colors I needed. It's been like the story of this project. So before I leave here, finally the heat turned off. Before I leave here today, I'm gonna pull all the colors I don't have so that next time it comes out, I can just finish it. I mostly just have birds to pop on here. The words are done. So anyway, that got touched, still enjoying it. Stick it back in its home. Oh, I'll just do that later. Okay. And then this has been coming out. Oh, I had a finish. Shoot. Let's talk about the finish first. So I had a finish. I had a back from the framer and a finish. So before Feed the Birds came out, Goth Moth came out. So this is an ornament kit from Satsuma Street. And I literally, at the beginning of this year, had nothing to do on it except backstitching and beading. And it took me like an hour and a half. Wow, that's messy. I'm trying to there we go. So good. You see, he's got like sparkly beads and sequins. So it literally, and I messed up, there's colors, I put some of the wrong color beads in places and I don't care. It's so good. So now I have to cut it out and fully finish it. And I'm just sticking felt on the back, so it's not gonna take me very long. But I'm gonna give this to my daughter for her birthday, which is not till the summer, so I've got time. And then, so now what I have left over is the chart, and I have a bunch of beads. I think there's beads and sequins. I don't know if there's enough thread to stitch it the whole thing, but there's definitely a lot of thread left over. So we're gonna pass along the kit. If you are interested in stitching Goth Moth, well, in getting my leftover kit, there's totally gonna be enough beads and sequins for you to stitch it again. It's just the thread. But honestly, as I'm looking at it, you may have enough thread. Satsuma Street is really generous with the the amount of floss they put in their kits. Anyway, if you would like to win Goth Moth, do not use the word win, giveaway, prize, anything like that. I will delete your comment. And use the word goth. You must be 18. You must have filled out my Happy Mail form in the description box below. And I will have a winner chosen for my next video. It's not going to be next week because I'm going to be away. It's probably not going to be the week after because I will be dealing with all the stuff that I brought back from market, but maybe the week after that. So you've got a few weeks. Okay. Then I Gilmored. So I'm listening to a few Gilmore Girls podcasts and I'm rewatching the show. And so when I listen to the podcasts, I take out my The Raining Loreleis by Forbidden Fiber Co. And it was a kit from them. I don't know if you can still get the kit, but it came in like this super cute, that's Lorelai and Rory. It came in a cute little project bag and it came with all the floss. I definitely did not have enough of the Omnia Paratus floss though. And thank you to everyone who offered to check to see if they had it in their stash. But I had a second skein because I was in the floss club. So I am all set. I will have enough now with that second skein. Here is where we are at. It's being stitched on a 32 count opalescent that came with the kit. So it's a Forbidden Fiber Co fabric. I want to say it's called Frozen or something like that. So here's where we are. So since you've seen it last, I have put in the middle octagon. I can't remember if I stitched this, I don't know, but this for sure is new. What I did notice in stitching this though, is that this is wrong. Nope, that one's not wrong, this one's wrong. One of these is wrong. Stars Hollow is wrong. It's too short. So I have to decide whether I'm gonna rip out this bottom border and fix it or whether I'm gonna do a fudging situation. I'm leaning very heavily towards fudging. So if I come down here and I do this bottom octagon and I come up, because there's these like bridges between the octagons, I think I might be able to fudge that bridge so that I don't have to, I will do anything before I rip something out. I hate undoing stitching and redoing it. So that's where that is. This I'm hoping to get done before the summer. And I think that's very possible. I've kind of have this self-imposed, like, and the heat's back, this self-imposed situation in which I'm trying not to start something new unless I finish two things. And I have finished two things. No? Yes? I showed you Goth Moth last time. Did I show you Goth? I don't remember. Anyway, I have finished. No, I've only finished one thing. Wow. One. I finished one thing. But I'm stitching a year at Hawk Run Hollow. I'm counting each block of Hawk Run Hollow as a finish as well. So anyway, I have to finish two things before I start something new. So if I want a spring start, I have to get one more thing finished. Let's take out Hawk Run Hollow now because I just chatted about it. So I am stitching a year at Hawk Run Hollow. I'm currently working on the April block. And here is where we are at. All right, so January, February, March, June, May, April. So I finished this whole side of the house and now I'm working on this side of the house. So, I mean, it's doable. Excuse me, itchy nose. I could have that done by the first day of spring. We shall see. And then that's everything else I've gotten stitched. I am stitching this on 40 count, one strand of thread over two. I'm also stitching it in the DMC conversion, and I've made lots of color changes to brighten it up. And then when I got to the April block, I didn't like the DMC colors, and I just didn't want to come up with a conversion. So I ended up doing the MPI silk for the bricks. So it's the only place so far I've got the silk in there, and I think it's fine. The next hawk run I do though, I think I'm gonna do shores next. Don't hold me to that though, I could change my mind. Very changeable. I think I'm gonna stitch the whole thing in silk. We'll see. Okay, then I have a chart that I have borrowed from my friend Deborah called Grimm's Haunt by Plum Street. I do not believe this chart is readily available. I think you got it in a kit that came out this past fall. I'm sure at some point it will come out for everyone, but it's not out for everyone yet. Hence my needing to borrow it. So I've been cruising along on this. I'm stitching it on 36 count, 1 strand, and I have needled my thread together so I can't open it. Hold on. Here we go. Here's where we're at. Look at those crazy pumpkins. I love them. These little guys are going to be birds. They just don't have their beaks or feet yet, so they look almost like leaves. I've got a lot done, I think, since I showed it last. I can't wait to get to the big barn, but I'm trying to get all the swirly bits done first because those are my least favorite things to stitch. I do love to stitch a house. Okay, it's stitching up super fast. I've only touched it probably like 4 times since I started it. And I don't have, since opening the store, I don't have as much stitching time as I used to. I used to stitch in the morning, during the day, when I probably should have been doing housework. At night, now I really only have like 2 hours a night that I get to stitch. All right, and then lastly, next up in the rotation was Sir Thomas by Glendon Place. He is so handsome. That's what he's gonna look like. And here is where we are at. Is he all showing? Yeah. So the past couple of days I have worked on the corn border up here, growing an ear of corn. I would like to get this corner done before I work on any more turkey. And in case you can't see, he sparkles. I mean, not everything sparkles. There's so much sparkle though. So much sparkle. It's one of my favorite things to stitch on. I'm stitching it on 28 count linen, 2 strands. And it's just like comfort stitching. It's so good. I love it. Now, what am I going to be stitching? Plans for the future. Obviously my temps. And then I really have no plans because the next few weeks are going to just be mayhem for me. And if I get any stitching done, it will be a miracle. It will be a stitching miracle. All right, so what else do we need to talk about? Market, so shop update. I don't have a lot of brand new, I haven't been doing a lot of ordering the past few weeks for the shop because I know I'm coming home with all the things. A few things to note though. My market pre-order deadline is Saturday. If you would like to place a pre-order with me, you must do it by the end of the day on Saturday because after that I'm going into shut down the pre-order section. I will take it off my shop so that you are not able to place pre-orders until I'm back. Just because I don't want pre-orders to come in while I'm gone and then I'm not tracking them and then I don't come back with your things and then I feel bad. So through Saturday the 25th, That would be tomorrow if you're watching this almost immediately upon my uploading. Wow, couldn't think of the word. So we are leaving on Tuesday, the 28th. Wi-Fi, like internet service for me may be spotty as I'm traveling. So feel free, if you need to reach me, shoot me an email. But just know I may not be able to get back to you immediately. So we're starting our traveling on Tuesday. The shop next week will be closed on Wednesday and Thursday. You can still place online orders. Just know that any online orders that are placed while I am gone, so between Tuesday the 28th and Tuesday, March 7th, they will not ship to live return. The shop will be closed next week, Wednesday and Thursday. March 1st and 2nd, the shop will be 100% closed. On Friday and Saturday, I'm talking about the physical shop at this point. Online shop, I never close. I just will make a note that shipping will be delayed. Friday and Saturday next week. So March 3rd and 4th, the shop will be open. I do have coverage. It's my mom. She's adorable. Come in and say hi to her. She will not be cutting fabric. So you can buy fabric, but you can only buy a size that's already hanging. It is what it is. She's also not super strong on being able to figure out how much fabric you need for your project. So if you need fabric, come in knowing how much you need. I'm just putting that out. If you're nervous about that whole situation, just wait till I'm back. I love my mom, but figuring fabric out, not her strong point. I'm super grateful that she's covering the shop though. So it'll be open. If you are at a thread and you cannot wait for me to be back, it will be here on Friday and Saturday. Okay, what else do we need to say about Market? Blackbird charts. I've been asked about the Blackbird charts because I don't have them up on my site for pre-order. I will put the Blackbird charts up on my site when I have them in hand. I'm not going to do pre-orders for those. Or I guess what I'd like to say is I'm not doing a pre-order that you're paying me for in advance. If you would like me to grab one of the Blackbird charts for you when they are available, shoot me an email. If not, wait for me to put them up on the site. I will be ordering tons of them. Do not worry. I think that's it. I know I'm forgetting something. Oh well, it is what it is. If you are a Saturday stitch group person, we only have one in March on the 18th. It's my thinking button. I gotta turn the brain back on. It is the last one that you will have to sign up for. Starting in April, we will have stitching group every Saturday and it'll just be drop in. You will not have to sign up for an advance. Part of our revamp of the store was putting a second permanent table in the stitchy space. So I no longer have to worry about like pulling out my shipping station and turning it into like getting space ready for stitch group. It's automatically always set up. So hence why we can have, thus, I don't know what word I want. So that's why we can have stitch group every Saturday. And as always, there's always Wednesday nights from 5 to 8. Okay. I think that's all I need to say. I'm sure I'm forgetting something. And if there's something I should have said and you need to know about it, shoot me an email in the description box below. Okay, that's it. I'm gonna get off before my mom pokes her head in the door. Got a lot to do today. I should say, no, that's not what I want to say. What do I say at the end of my videos? Oh goodness, Pamela Jean. Okay. I'm gonna get off. I can't wait to see you all again. It's gonna be a few weeks. In the meantime, I hope that you all stay safe and healthy and happy and that you get lots of stitching in, and I will see you all next time. Hopefully the week after market, 2 weeks after market. We're not gonna plan. Okay, bye everyone.